It's a scene we've all become familiar with no matter where in the world. Wearing a mask is our new normal. But while single-use protective gear might be saving lives, they're also polluting our environment.
During the pandemic, we have seen an increase in the usage of individual protective gear, such as face masks and gloves, very often made out of plastic.
The Italian Institute for Environmental Research found that in just 2 months of lockdown during March and April, the amount of general waste fell by 10%. That's 500,000 tonnes. Researchers also looked at the increased use of personal protective gear during this time.
We've studied 69 glove models and more than 30 face mask models, all very different from each other. They have different structures. Some have valves, some have filters and therefore different weights. We made an assumption on the average weight and we found out that at the end of 2020, this production will create 300,000 tonnes of additional waste. And that's just masks and gloves alone.
Researchers say that means the totals will balance each other out by the end of the year, and the amount of waste produced is likely to be similar to before the pandemic. Environmentalists are also concerned that the pandemic has rolled back global efforts to curb single-use plastic.
We have also seen an increase in consumption of packaged foods and e-commerce that uses a lot of single-use plastic packaging. We don't have an estimate yet of how much of those objects were dumped into the environment, but what is sure is that all of those that have been abandoned sooner or later will reach the sea.
The UN trade body UNCTAD estimates global mask sales have doubled since last year, with the trade worth $166 billion. Plastic pollution was already one of the greatest threats to our planet before the outbreak. And around 75% of used masks, as well as other pandemic-related waste, will end up in landfills or floating in the seas. Sara, Khairat, Al Jazeera.